Hello everybody, this is USMC Bess. It's been a little bit since I've dropped a video. Haven't really been doing too much in the 2A community and, the civil rights activism and stuff like that. Been trying to get some of my personal matters in order before I can get back on the horse of defending everybody else's freedoms and such. So, I wanted to make a video about an article I was just reading on LiveLeak. And it's an article from the Commandant of the Marine Corps. I'm not sure if he's the current Commandant or not. General Amos. And the article is entitled, "In Candid Conversation, General Says It's Time to Fix the Marine Corps." And I agree, and I have agreed for quite some time. I haven't given my full biography to a lot of people on LiveLeak or YouTube yet, so I may as well do that now so you can get where I'm coming from on reviewing this article here. I went to Pacific High School in Pacific, Missouri, and they had the rudiments of a Marine Corps JROTC program, which I loved. Still love the Marine Corps to this day. I still love the Navy to this day. The traditions, the things that they instill into their personnel. I love everything about the Navy and the Marine Corps. That being said, whenever I got out of high school, I graduated as a cadet staff sergeant. Multiple honors, multiple awards and ribbons and a medal, all that good stuff, Did outstanding as a cadet. Iraq and Afghanistan had just been kicking off and stuff like that, and this is a point in my life where the gears started turning a little bit up in my head, rather than just listening to the authority figures and taking all that they say as gospel. I started thinking for myself a little bit more, and I had a few strange encounters with some recruiters that didn't exactly help the whole enlistment process. I had this one recruiter. His name was Staff Sergeant Lawton. Great guy, I love hanging out with him and stuff. But I was asking Staff Sergeant Lawton, I was going to enlist as a Marine infantryman. That's what my Marine instructors had told me that's probably what I should do, that I'd make a great Marine. I wanted to get on the drill team, and you have to be an 03 to get on the drill team. So I was like, okay, I'm going to enlist in the Marine Corps as a Marine Corps infantryman. I started talking to Staff Sergeant Lawton about signing paperwork, and hey, I've heard this, hey, I've heard that, can you validate this, can you shoot this down, that kind of thing. And after we got through a lot of the this and that's the whole process, I said, okay, Staff Sergeant Lawton, I'm going to ask you a question that I already know the answer to. I just want to see if you're going to lie to me or not. I said, okay. In Marine Corps recruit training, at any point in time, do drill instructors ever lay their hands on recruits? And he looks up at the corner of the room and looks back at me and, well, Bess, they don't. And I'm just like, okay, Staff Sergeant Lawton, that's not the answer I was looking for, because I know from many of my friends who have been through Marine Corps boot camp that from time to time, especially if you get a shitbird of a recruit, the drill instructors will lay hands on them and will let them know to either shape up or get out. But so I didn't join the Marine Corps. I'm a Baptist minister as well, and I was wondering, okay, how can I share my faith of Christ with people through the military, through the Marine Corps? And the Marine Corps gets different personnel from the Navy that they don't supply themselves, and one of which is their chaplain corps. Chaplain corps they get from their Navy. And the Marine Corps is a department of the Navy, for those who may not know. So I was like, okay, I'll be a chaplain. And I start going to my Navy recruiter and stuff, because the way I figured it, I can go through chaplain school, stuff like that, Navy basic, and I can get attached to a Marine Corps unit. And well, then I come to find out that chaplains are just, and since then, have increasingly been coming under censorship and under persecution and fire of all sorts from, usually their command staff tend to be the problem. But I wasn't about to go in as a man of God that can't preach the Word of God without getting myself in trouble. So I decided against that. So here I am, 7 years after graduating high school. I'm still a civilian puke, and it's probably gonna stay that way. You know, local militia. There we go. We got the Missouri Backwoods Marines back here, but doesn't look like I'm gonna ever enlist for our country, because our country has gone so far out the window. It's just ridiculous. So far away from what we were in 1776. But anyways, let me get to this article here that this was all supposed to be about. Commandant Amos, he says, in addressing these new changes that need to come to the Marine Corps, he says, we have a behavioral problem within the Corps. A small, but not insignificant number of our Marines are not living up to their ethos and core values. One of Amos's slides says they are hurting themselves, their fellow Marines, civilians, and damaging our reputation. And that's something that really amazed me coming out of school, was this kind of what General Amos is describing here, is Marines who are shitbirds, and they're more and more getting that way. And it's just like, you know, we look up to our military personnel. There's a certain reverence that the American people gives the military personnel. And you know, coming out of high school, I thought, okay, every Marine's a rifleman and every Marine is a professional. That's what I was told. Every Marine is a professional all the time. Just the opposite. Out of all my buddies who went into the Marine Corps, all of them came back less responsible, more vulgar, more nasty, and just generally more wicked people than before they went into the Marine Corps or Navy or Army. I have a lot of buddies in all the branches of the service. All of them came back worse for wear. And even when wearing that uniform, it's supposed to give them the honor, the courage, and the commitment. You know, they tend to slip. They don't. The conduct of a Marine is not as strict as it used to be. What is expected of a Marine Corps enlisted man and a Marine Corps officer is not what it used to be. The standards have slipped quite drastically. And you know, you should know, if you're listening to this, you should know, you know, what I'm talking about military conduct wise and how it has and continues to slip. But I just wanted to give a little commentary on what Commandant Amos said there, because he sees it. It took him this long to see it, but he sees it. And if you want to read the rest of the article, I'll put a link in the bottom. And yeah, you can check out the rest of that article and see what Commandant Amos is looking to do to improve the Marine Corps, both in look and in functionality. And this is USMC Best, signing off.